on that road again. Okay, James Harden, I see you with your 55. Still a little bit of the headlines for Chris Paul's result, but franchise record 55 for the Clippers, tied for most points of the season so far with SGA and Jokic. Also, the 25th, 50th point game of his career, which now ties him with Kobe for third most in history, behind Wilt and MJ. No big deal. Okay, let's just do that. Fourth oldest player in the history of this league to record 55 or more points, which is kind of crazy as well. Both you guys played, like you've been around, you've seen him, you've been on the floor with him, Chandler. What'd you make of the 55 on Saturday?
Not surprised. I mean, this dude's been doing this for so many years. He's the best scorer I've ever played with. He's the best scorer I've ever seen. Like when you get an NBA rule basically changed and the foul calls because of your innovativeness and because of your creativity, like you're different. And this guy has always been different, coming out of Arizona State from a bench player to a six man to an absolute bucket to now transformed himself into one of the better point guards the last 5-7 years in the NBA as a true scorer. Just to do a seamless switch to point guard is a gift. And he's unbelievable the way he creates contact, the way he kind of lulls you to sleep and steps back. He is one of the greatest scorers of all time. And it's not even a debate. The way he's so versatile, the way he gets downhill, gets to the rim, it's crazy. He didn't have a right hand his entire career, and still would somehow get back to that left. Still get finished with his left hand on the right side. Still would find ways to score. With the whole scouting report is to make him go right and to not foul him, and he continued to do them all consistently throughout his career. So I'm not surprised at all with this night because he's been doing this for years and he's just so creative. He's so smart. He's stronger and bigger than he looks on TV. And he's one of the most creative scorers in the history of the NBA. So it doesn't surprise me. And the efficiency, 17 of 26, 11 for 14 from the free throw line, 10 for 16 from the three-point line. There's no real way of stopping him other than double teaming him and getting the ball out of his hands. So he's one of the greatest scorers the game's ever seen. And I'm not surprised at all by this performance. And the Clippers are going to need a lot more of these.
Yeah, they are. I mean, look, they got Kawhi back, which is crazy. That was only yesterday. They didn't have him Saturday, which I think is crazy that we haven't even really touched on that. However, the championship ring, all that argument forever, it was probably more for fans than anything else. But 2 weeks ago, Paul Pierce said that if Harden had won a championship so far, that we'd actually be having some bigger, broader conversations about where he ranks all time, Lou. Are you buying that if the title had been present, that this would be a different conversation with James Harden?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, you look at all of the elite two guards in the league or in history. Let's go with history. We're talking about MJ. We're talking about Kobe. We're talking about D Wade. All of those guys are championship caliber. So when they have championships under their belt, you have no choice but to rank behind them. As far as everything else, James Harden checks all of the boxes. All-stars, MVPs, all-time scoring list, all of those things. They all check out. The only thing that was elusive to James Harden is a championship. That's the only thing that's going to stop him from being in this conversation. So I agree with Paul. You know, he's going to be on the list, but it's hard to rank him one or two when you have some of the all-time greats. You know, and you look at his peers. All of his peers around him, they got championships on their clock. You know, KD got his championships. Kyrie got his championships. Guys who were teammates with him, they eventually went on to get championships. Guys that were in, you know, his peer class, you know, the Steph Currys and all of those things, they went on to get championships. That's going to be the only thing in his legacy that's going to be elusive to stop him from being one of the all-time greats when we start talking about top 5 and top 10 in those conversations. That's the only thing that would stop James Harden. But again, all of these lists and where do people rank all time is all subjective. It's all about your personal preference. None of it is real. None of these lists are factual in any way possible or any context. But James Harden is a top 75 talent. He's going to go down as such, very similar to Chris Paul. But when you start chopping everything down and going list for list, line for line, resume for resume, championships is that one main thing that everybody cares about. And unfortunately, he doesn't have one yet. So that puts him in a certain place when it comes to conversations when you start talking about guys' legacies.
Yeah, I mean, well said. It's the same conversation as Chris Paul, right? It's you have everything. You have longevity. You have points. You have all that. and more, you're just going to get docked a little bit for the championship. And Lou made a great point. When you look at the greatest shooting guards of all time, it's MJ, Kobe, and D Wade, and then it's James Harden, even without a championship. So that's how good he's been. That's how consistent he's been. There's been a stigma about reputation and him enjoying his life off the court, not practicing.
Who cares?
That's a whole other conversation. Who cares? This guy is productive. He has been consistent. He's been rather healthy his whole career too. It's just pretty crazy. So he's had a hell of a career. Also, first ballot Hall of Fame, and he's one of those guys that you just love watching play basketball. And his left hand just looks better.
You and your left hand looks better thing. It's just
is he the greatest lefty of all time? Wow. Ginobili, him.
We can
Paul
make that
McCartney.
case.
There's probably an old head that we're missing. That's like David Robinson.
You're 100%. Yeah, Paul McCartney plays guitar left-handed, unless I'm wrong.
You don't play basketball. What are we talking about?
First of all, you don't know what Sir Paul McCartney can and cannot do.
I know what he can't do.
Young people, Google it.
He can't play basketball.
I don't know that, and I'm not willing to go out on that limb.
Bill Russell was left-handed. How about that, Lou? You learn something new every day.
Who's telling you this? Where are you getting this from? Is it in your ear?
Sorry, I got people.
Dang, you got voices? Okay. All right, we'll take a quick break.
Russell was left-handed.
Okay, shut up. Charlotte. We're going to Charlotte next on the other side. We'll be right back.
Run it back, run it up, run it back, run it up, run it back.